Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and this is a special That's a Shoot. And so I just I had to do this because of what happened this week. It's AEW and the dinner debonair, Chris Jericho and MJF, and it turned into a Broadway performance. And it's not the fact that I didn't like it. And it's not the fact that other people liked it, because we all have our own taste, right? But I think what really got to me, and maybe the fact that people did like this, because I know if WWE did something like this, that there would have been people shitting on it left and right, no matter how funny it was, how funny it could have been. There would have been people shitting on it left and right, majority of them. And yes, there were some people that hated that thing, that segment, but it was not enough. It was not enough, and it really made me think that really when it comes down to it, and I started to think this already, but the more and more I see, it's the Emperor's New Clothes. It really is, and that's what the title of this is. It's the Emperor's New Clothes. Now, for those of y'all who that don't know the story, it's a story where the emperor wanted some new clothes, and you know, so basically they couldn't get him no new clothes, so they basically told him that wearing nothing was his new clothes. So and he said that looked good, So he was running. So the emperor walks around the town naked with no clothes on, and and everybody just goes with it and says because he's the emperor, and says, yes, that's great clothes, Your Majesty, great clothes, sire, great clothes. The clothes look beautiful on you. They would look better on nobody else. So they do all of this, right? And and at some point somebody tells him these aren't new clothes. You're just walking around naked. And it finally gets him to realize, because everybody knows that these is not new clothes, but because he's the emperor, they go along with it. And I think that's what this is with AEW. I really do. I really think that's what's happening with AEW right now. AEW, there is no way in hell you can tell me that if you objectively sit down and you watch Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and NXT, and you watch AEW, and you can objectively say that AEW is better than WWE, and that they're doing things better, that they're everything over there is better than WWE. No, it's not. AEW has faults, WWE has faults, but there you cannot objectively say, because and sometimes they're doing the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing, but when WWE does it, oh, it's garbage, right? It's garbage. But when AEW does it, beautiful, wonderful, 6 stars, 6 stars. Bullshit. These are AEW without question. It is the Emperor's New Clothes because it's AEW, because it's an organization that people want to be new of. They want to be successful. They want an alternative to WWE, right? They want something other than WWE, something other than NXT, be something that can hopefully be around for a long time. Dude, it's the same thing. Jim Cornette and Brian Last, and I will tell you guys this: if you are a wrestling fan, if you are a if you are a wrestling fan, if you are someone who enjoys what the business is about, if you enjoy someone who's irrelevant, and not in that way, I'm talking about in a funny way, who can who has a quick wit of the tongue, all of that. If you're someone who enjoys that, go find Jim Cornette's 2 podcasts, The Drive Through and The Experience. Usually, the drive through they take questions, fan questions and things like that. Sometimes they'll do other things. They may review some other things, some television shows. On the experience, which actually it drops today. That drops on Friday. Fridays usually. Um, they review the NXT versus AEW, and we already saw a tweet. He has been promoted ever since from the first time he saw MJF. He's been promoting him, saying that he is a star and he can talk and he can work and he can do all of these good things. He thinks he's one of the best talents in AEW has. And we saw the tweet yesterday. It said, he was obviously watching the show for his review, and he said, "I cannot believe that that these wrestlers and what they do, their cosplay bullshit, and they would never be serious and anything like that." And it was really funny because obviously he had just saw the MJF Chris Jericho thing, and it's awful. It really is, and. You don't have to agree with everything that he says. I'm not saying that what he says is gospel. I'm not saying that that you have to agree with everything he says. I know I don't. There are a lot of things I do agree with. Some things I don't agree with him on. He's so you don't get to do that. But he has a great mind for his business. He has a great talent to see who he thinks could be the future. And I think and yes, he has blind spots on Kenny Omega because Kenny Omega wrestled a blow up doll and a 9-year-old schoolgirl. He has blind spots on the Young Bucks because the Young Bucks, did his things and they were in Ring of Honor or in TNA or something like that, and they they didn't have a great time together. So he's get a little bit of the blind spots on the Young Bucks and and everything like that. But so so maybe you can you can kind of you can kind of go down that road and say, okay, well, when it comes to those two, I have to realize that he has a blind spot. He has a major bias, and it's probably not so you're probably not gonna get a probably true thing from what's his face from Jim. But that's okay. The other ones are totally fine as well. And yeah, so but it was just hilarious to see him write that on Twitter, and we all knew what he was talking about and everything like that. Yeah, but they've been saying it for weeks that AEW is not an alternative to WWE. AEW is doing their own style of WWE. It really is, and they really are. Except there's a little bit more blood in it, and it's I think that's it. That's it, right? There's more blood in. There are more blood in the matches on AEW than there is in WWE. They're not really even doing blood. Although I think we might get some this Sunday in a couple of the Hell in a Cell matches. I think we might get some. No, I'm talking about intentional blood. In particular, I'm thinking that Roman Reigns Jey Uso match could be Jey Uso could be a pretty bloody mess. But that's neither here nor there. Um, but yeah, I think there could be you know some really big things that WWE would do, and nobody would like it. But if AEW did the same damn thing, they would love it. Now, and again, to be fair, people have criticized AEW for the lack of the women on the show, where WWE has continued to promote. their women's division, to the chagrin of Mr. Jim Cornette. He thinks he's also, the AEW does not do one women's match a time. They don't even do like a women's match and then a women's talking segment. They don't do that. It's just a women's match union like that. AEW seems to be a little bit behind on the medical staff, as we know with Matt Hardy and what happened with him and Sammy Guevara and other things. So there's some things like this. So AEW has gotten some criticism from some people, without question. And so I'm not just saying that people are not criticizing AEW; they are. But I also think that there are people that look past some of the stuff that AEW does. Look past some of the stuff that AEW does, and they just take it because it's happening in AEW. If Marco Stunt was in WWE, people would be like, why are they letting this short dude wrestle this tall big man? Why are they having this big man still for this 5 foot, 125 pound kid? Why are you doing this, right? If Orange Cassidy was in WWE, it was like, really, you get the guy's gimmick is that he doesn't care. He doesn't really care to do moves correctly. Really, he gives everything he does is low effort until then also he'll turn it on. No, no, they would say they would say that's garbage. You know, they would say they would say a lot of other things that aren't right. If they would say so much other stuff. It really is. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You know, I I watch a lot of wrestling YouTube. I do. I watch a lot of wrestling YouTube. I watch Cultaholic. I watch World Culture. I watch Brian Zane, and I watch Wrestle Talk. Brian Zane is wrestling with regret, by the way. And I watch Wrestle Talk. I probably watch Wrestle Talk the most. And um, if they do like all of the live streams and the segment, they do all of that stuff. And I really have thought this way before, but it just continues. But it's gotten worse, especially over the past 3 or 4 weeks when Ali and Luke do their Monday Night Raw review. It's not a review. It's not a review. It's not a review where they will, critique, critique something if something didn't go right or something like that. It just becomes everything on the show sucks, and here's why it sucks, and let's make fun of it because it sucks. And then come Thursday when they're doing the AEW review, oh, everything was wonderful, and this was wonderful, and let me show you why this was wonderful. And it really has become just, and I've thought in the past that those guys, in particular the Wrestle Talk guys, were not WWE fans. I don't, they're wrestling fans, but they're not WWE fans. Because if you were WWE fans, you would know what WWE is. And they want WWE to be something that's not. I think what they want WWE to be independent wrestling, and WWE would never be independent wrestling. Even after the tragic day that Vince McMahon passes away and Triple H and Stephanie takes over and Shane, um, it would never be independent wrestling because independent wrestling does not get over. It does not get over with the bigger audience, with the television audience. What gets over with the television audience is the storytelling part of it. It's It's the all Michaels trying to beat the Undertaker for revenge for WrestleMania 25 with his career on the line. That that storytelling, the the Hell in a Cell match for Triple H, the end of an era match. They want that. Sure, every now and then we'll take the TLC 2 Spot Fest. That's wonderful. That has its place. Well, the bloody brawl between Austin and Rock. Yes, that has its place. That has its place. Um, even some of the crazy stuff. Some of the crazy stuff that has its place too. But I think the difference between independent wrestling and and major league wrestling is the storytelling, and I think that is what WWE is all about. It's about telling the stories. And to me, I think the guys at Wrestle Talk, they don't really want they want their storytelling, you know, independent wise, and they're not going to get that from WWE. So they're not big fans of WWE, in my opinion. And I think and that was one of the reasons why I just get so upset because once again Tuesday I get up and I watch them and they're just once again just dragging Monday Night Raw and it's just it's become a roast. It's not been a review, it's a roast and it's sickening and I just knew that they were going to you know give AEW a glowing review. And AEW, I think if you look at it objectively, Monday Night Raw and AEW were about the same. They were about the same. I would probably give a slight edge to AEW. I would give probably the slight edge to AEW just because there was probably more entertaining stuff. You don't downgrade them for the debonair garbage shit, but you put them up, but it becomes a minus on them. But there's maybe a plus or two more than WWE stuff, right? Um, but yeah, but then no, and then Ali gives WWE one and one out of 5 stars, and he gives AEW 5 out of 5 stars. As if it's not. So I think the world really is looking at AEW and they're seeing AEW, and AEW is naked as a jaybird. But because it's AEW, they're telling them, and AEW is saying, "Hey, look at our new clothes. Hey, look at our new clothes." And everybody's saying, "Yes, AEW, what a great new clothes. Sharpie dress pants with a nice shirt, great shoes, nice little haircut you got there." And it's basically WWE, but differently. It's basically what it is. It's a different version of WWE. So yeah, I had to get this off my chest because I've just found this totally ridiculous, and I just no, I really I can't take this anymore. Um, so yeah, I got some other things coming up too. Um, this is like I didn't have a plan to do this because this week get Hell in a Cell on Sunday, so I was gonna do my Hell in a Cell predictions video um, tomorrow. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow evening, things like that. Let's see if any more match. Right now, there's only 4 matches: Jeff Hardy and Elias, the WWE Hell in a Cell match, the Universal Hell in a Cell match, and then there's supposed to be the Women's Hell in a Cell match between Sasha and Bayley. We'll see what happens. I don't know how Sasha's going to get Bayley to sign the contract, but we will see. We'll see if it even happens. It may not even happen. So, but yeah, it was I just really wanted to vent. It's because to me, it's I see it. I think many other people see it. Um, it is without question the Emperor's New Clothes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is new clothes, and I think as time goes on, we've been a year into this. We've been a year into this, but I think as time goes on, I think more and more people will start asking the question. You know, we'll start asking the question: Is this is this really what we want from AEW? But don't forget, AEW they promised some good sports presentation wrestling, right? Sports presentation wrestling with data and analytics and all this other stuff. And really, they've forgotten it all by they forgotten it by week 10 of them, and they don't go by rankings anymore. Fatal 4-way tag match did not even think about. They did it a tumbler pick, random draw. Number one contenders don't get the matches. They skip it, so they're not doing a lot of good sports presentation wrestling, you know. And that's not to say that the WWE is either. They kind of said that same thing. They said Friday Night SmackDown was gonna be more, because it's Fox. It's gonna be a bit more sports oriented there as well. And we had Roman Reigns getting dog food poured on him along with Baron Corbin, 3 weeks later. So that happened. But yeah, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys agree? Is isn't AEW just another version of WWE? But everybody thinks it's just so much better when it's really not. It's the same, maybe even worse. You know, because they promise more. Step on new clothes. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow, Hell in a Cell 2020 predictions. And then Sunday, after Hell in a Cell, a rapid reaction to Hell in a Cell 2020. We'll talk about what went down. It's your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.